Welcome back, everyone, to Riff's Worldbook 12, Psyscape. And today we're going to talk about new OCC and R.C.C.s that are introduced in this book. And I'm going to talk about the denizens of Psyscape and why they are better psychics than you will ever be. Very important. Let's get to it.
And
of course, like and subscribe because it's awesome to do that. And if you want to share the video, we will write your name on a piece of paper.
Have nice dreams about you.
Yeah, sure. Dreams. Got it. There you go. So now, first, I'm going to talk about the denizens of Psyscape and why they are stronger and have more abilities than normal psychics. It's important to note because
make them stronger, faster, better.
They're stronger. Well, it depends. It depends on your thing. Although most psychics born and raised at Psyscape, 83% are psychic, by the way. I told you, large number in the last video. Possess the usual psychic R.C.C.s and corresponding abilities, skills, and disciplines. They are also more advanced in both the culture and the use of their powers. Most have learned to open their spiritual third eye, and as a result, are more keenly aware of the world around them. Now, the third eye is for Psyscape denizens and people who have studied the Psyscape way for decades. So if your psychic character visits Psyscape and they tell you, they give you the handbook on how to open up your third eye, it's going to take you decades. This book minimalizes it at 30 years to do it. So you can learn it, but it's better to be taught it by, it's better to start early.
Start today. Right? Buy now. Supplies limited.
Right now. Supplies last. Yeah. So this is what happens when you have your third eye open. And many of the psychics in Psyscape, whether they're minor, major, or master, have this done. First off, you radiate your nature. What I mean is, if you are feeling helpful, sympathetic, happy, positive, you will radiate that to everyone around you, psychics and non-psychics. So there is no hiding your mental state because you broadcast it. Lying to you is almost an act of evil. You can also radiate anger, be spiteful, vengeance, self-pity, fear.
Can you scroll back up again? What? There was something I saw in there that I'm back to the random chart. There you go. Scroll up just a touch. Really? The Nega Psychic?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, it was, Beyond the Supernatural came to Rifts today.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be everywhere but there? Or wouldn't they want the Nega Psychic to be anywhere but near this place?
We'll read it. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. What else do we have? Dream vision. Psyscape psychics can speak to kindred spirits only. People like them with the same goals, alignment, general outlook on life, or personality and feelings. Usually that's other denizens of Psyscape and the Psynex entity. Through their dreams, you can actually have a conversation across any distance to anyone you know that's also from the city of Psyscape. You just dream a video call. And it works. Now, if the person who's away changes their viewpoint on life or their viewpoint of themselves or whatever, then they could become different enough to where the call won't connect. Or someone who's reading the book of how to open your third eye and is like halfway through it, maybe now they're close enough, or if they finished it, they're now close enough to link up with the group dream video calls. And then we have transform into energy. You can transform your body into psychic energy, just like the psionic entity that you learned it from. And then you can merge with a ley line or a nexus, just like it, for up to 100 years. You won't age. You won't get hungry. You won't get sleepy.
You'll just be out of the campaign.
You'll just be out of the campaign because the minimum amount of time you can set this little timer for to wake up is 1 year. Maximum 100 years. But they have caveats. If there's a ley line storm or ley line energy drops by 40% or more, or someone around you is in horrible danger, or there's a war or something horrible, absolutely epically horrible is happening around where you are, then you can come out of it.
Basically, any hook the game master wants to come up with to
there
bring
it
you
is.
out.
Any hook the game master wants can make you come out of it. Or the NPC who's resting there can come out of it. Now, usually the third eye psychic is using this time to wrestle with some great philosophical issue, or trying to invent a new psionic ability or whatever during this time, because you are awake and aware. You never get tired. You don't go insane. You just exist in a state of pure psionic energy, and you can do thought process however you want to do it. And then we have sense supernatural evil and magical energy, the same as a Psyhound, a little less than other things, but it's pretty good. The ability is constant automatic, doesn't require ISP. You can detect the presence of supernatural evil and magical energy, PPE used as a spell in magical devices and large amounts in people, 80 or more points. The psychic can sense whenever a magic spell is used within the range of sensitivity, if the energy is being continually expended like a series of magic attacks, or if it's a duration longer than one melee round, 15 seconds, the character can trace it with relative ease to its source. Base skill, 72% plus 2%. That's big. That starts off large. That 72 is a real deal. Range of 100 feet per level of experience. That's pretty long. That's pretty far.
That seems cheating. Magic users can't find you, but you can find magic users. Lame.
Yeah.
Lame.
Extend psionic power. The Psyscape master and major psychics who have learned to use their third eye have double the range and duration of either all sensitive or all healing powers. You choose one category. Likewise, the master can have one supersonic ability that is double its usual range, duration, and power damage or effect. That's a big deal. A supersonic power that is double strength, double duration, double range all the time. And
double
then when you go near
for you.
Yeah, when you're on a nexus or a ley line, it gets even better. So yeah, man, that's a big deal. And having all sensitive or healing powers be double as well, that's huge. And then of course there's the special bonuses. You get extra SDC, ISP, obviously, +2 to your MA attribute, Saver's Possession, Despair, Impact or Fall, Disarm, Pull Punch, and bonuses are half for minor psychics. Like I said, minor psychics can also open their third eye. They're just not as powerful as the majors. That's fair. It's fair. So that's just people who are psychic and born in Psyscape. Let's look at other folk that are introduced in this book. And you brought up the Nega Psychic. Let's do that one.
Mind melter.
Nega Psychic. Here we go. In the days before the coming of the rifts, the Nega Psychic was an individual who refused to believe in magic, ESP, and the paranormal. Ironically, these individuals were themselves psychic, and their anti-paranormal convictions fueled their potential to make them semi-impervious to psychic powers. It's basically the same as Beyond the Supernatural. They are psychic, but they vehemently do not believe that magic and psychic power is real. So all of their power goes to making sure that is the actual reality. So using magic and psychic powers around them is much harder. To them is almost impossible. So let's see what powers they get.
I love that. Can you scroll back over just a second? I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I love that. Of course, on Rift's Earth, it's virtually impossible to honestly believe that supernatural beings, demons, dragons, magic, are not real. I love that. Yeah. Explain that one away, Nega Psychic.
Yeah, they are everywhere and extremely real. Consequently, the Nega Psychic of Rift's Earth has effectively adapted to this magic and supernatural rich environment. The Nega Psychic accepts that such things are real, but he is still a skeptic and extremely strong-willed. In this case, he refused to accept that such forces can control, dominate, or destroy him. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. You're a dragon, but breathing fire, stupid. Spells are stupid. And so they don't work very well. Close is supernatural. You have a mind block on at all times. No ISP required. No thought required. You're sleeping, still a mind block. You're eating, still have a mind block on. You're with your woman or man or whatever, still got a mind block on. Now, that's good and bad because, it's the way it is. Disrupt magic. You give off negative vibes that disrupt magic ritual. Here's the thing. You as a naked psychic have a PPE base, which is far greater than the normal person, but also far less than your basic magic user. But
I mean, I don't do magic. What would I need PPE for?
Here it is. Here's what you need it for. If you see a magical effect or you see a wizard or whatever trying to cast magic, you're like, that doesn't work. For every 1 PPE you spend subconsciously from your total, they have to spend 3 more to get their effect to work. That means if you spend 1, they have to spend 3 more. If you spend
the power
2,
of disbelief.
Exactly. They have to spend 6 more, and so on. So it's like a game of chess. You're trying to outmaneuver your opponent. You don't know how much the Nega Psychic is going to spend, so you don't know how much to spend to make sure your spell works. Because if you get it wrong on the bottom end, you spend everything and nothing happened. But
Heathendog's out there. He wants to do Armor of Ithyn and a Carpet Adhesion, and hey, I don't know what it is. I'm making up numbers, but it's supposed to be 10 PPE. It's like, okay, you spent 10 PPE, nothing. What?
Nothing happened. Sorry.
20? Nothing.
Yeah. Sorry,
30?
buddy.
Nothing. What do I have to do to cast a spell? Maybe I don't know. You got this other guy out there just smoking a cigarette. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, see, to make sure your spell goes off, you have to spend enough to offset the minuses you get from the Nega Psychic. But just like you can undershoot, you can overshoot as well. If you overshoot, great, your spell goes off, but you overspent than what you needed to do. So now you have less left in your tank to make the other spell go off. And remember, the Nega Psychic, while having less PPE base than a spellcaster, it's not 1/3, which means he's got a better ratio. For every 1 he spends, you got to spend 3. So you better end it quick. But if you don't know where the Nega Psychic is, or even if you're fighting a Nega Psychic, then you don't know. You'll spend the regular amount that you normally spend to make the spell go off, only it won't.
Is this something, I missed it if you said it, is this something the Nega Psychic has to concentrate on to make happen, or is this automatic? He's just a walking field of dampening magic.
Let's see here.
It'd be great. You're at the McDonald's, eating your cheeseburger or whatever, and some mage out there is trying to save the universe, and oops.
Well, it's will. It's not subconscious. It's a conscious effort. You have to. The Nega Psychic is consciously disbelieving.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's why he has to expend PPE to consciously disbelieve.
Fair enough. Okay.
And of course, psionic powers automatic to all Nega Psychics are Exorcism, Suppress Fear, Deaden Senses, Summon Inner Strength, Group Mind Block. These are all things that are explained away by adrenaline or force of will or whatever. This amount of ISP you have to spend that. This amount of PPE you get to defend against that. You have enhanced healing. You heal twice as fast as a normal human just because of the power of your personality and will. You get save versus psionic attacks, whether you need that or not, because you have a permanent mind block on. And you get some R.C.C. bonuses. That's the Nega Psychic. We also have the Psy Druid. The Psy Druid is neat. I'm going to say neat. Now, unlike in Rift's England, this is not really a druid, not a magical druid as you would think it is. This is kind of more like a granola crunchy psychic doctor.
What?
Right? Yeah. These are the powers Psy Druids get. They have a weather sense. They can psychically sense weather patterns in the area and predict them to great accuracy. They can find water in the wilderness with great accuracy. They can see plant and animal auras, not the auras of people per se, the auras of plant and animals. Well, why would I care? Well, magical or whatever other effects that can change how plants and animals grow or react can be seen in their aura, just like any other magical effect on a. What's that?
Sorry, I just saying. I love carnivorous plants and making carnivorous plants in games. I love it.
Well, the Psy Druid will see a carnivorous plant coming from a mile away. There you go.
Useful in my games. Just saying. Just a heads up right now.
Heal plant and animal. You get the special psychic power of healing plants and animals from damage or disease or whatever. Empathic animal friendship. Animals just like you. They just like you a lot because you're friendly. And you have other psychic abilities: psychic diagnosis, healing touch, psychic surgery, clairvoyance, empathy, mind block, psychic omniscience, and 2 of choice from both the healing and sensitive categories. Like I said, you are a granola crunchy psychic healer. That's what you are. So this OCC or RCC is very useful in a group that is in the wilderness a lot and likes to befriend small villages. Every small village on Rift's Earth is going to want a psychic druid to visit. Everyone's got a sick grandma or uncle or kid or whatever. Everyone's got blight on their crops at some point or another. Everyone has a hoof and mouth disease that is killing their livestock.
Anthrax.
And a Psy Druid is the answer to all of those things. So you're going to get a whole lot of good vibes if you have a psychic druid. Now let's look at the Psy Ghost. Here's another one. This is another one specialty coming from Psyscape. This is a mutated master psychic. I say mutated because you have the hero's unlimited superpower of intangibility.
Nice.
Very nice. Because intangibility, unless it's electrical, psionic, magic, or a gas attack, you are immune to it all.
Okay, so it's power, so it has to be activated. He doesn't just wander around constantly like this, right?
But it doesn't cost any ISP or PPE because it is a mutant power. You can leave it on forever. As long as you're awake, you can leave it on with no drawback at all. You can walk through anything that's not a force field. You can just walk right through it. Just walk through it. How thick is it? Don't care. Don't care. Walk through it. Shooting you with guns? Pass through it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. So
that
what other
sounds
powers
OP.
do you? Yeah, it is OP. Yeah. Heightened presence sense. You get the variation of the presence sensibility. It's reflexive, sixth sense type power that alerts the Psy Ghost character to the presence of other sentient individuals around him. The character is automatically aware of all intelligent presence within the detection range, which is 25 feet plus 5 per level. That's pretty good. Costs no ISP. None.
I mean, if you're talking about somebody ambushing you, yeah. Other than that, when you're talking a game that has guns that shoot in hundreds of meters,
then yeah. But if someone's lying in wait for you and they're within 25 feet plus 5, then you're going to know he's there.
So I mean, that's better than detect ambush skill and Sixth Sense.
Well, Sixth Sense is pretty good. Yeah, I think
but Sixth Sense is too immediate.
Technically better than that. Yeah, I mean, if there's a sniper, you won't be able to protect anyone but yourself. The bonuses will only be for you. Yeah. Psionic powers automatic to the Psy Ghost. You get these powers. Psionic invisibility. Oh my God. Now you're intangible and invisible. You're basically not there. You're not there. Deadened senses, mind block, night vision, object read, machine ghost, and telemechanics. Oh my God. This is an infiltrated
He's a
dream.
poltergeist.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to take over your robot power armor.
Yep. And you get super psionics at levels 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, and 15. Oh my God. Talk about OP. Jesus. Then we have the Psi Nullifier. Is a human master psychic or Psi Stalker whose mental reactive powers have developed to provide a remarkable defense against psionics and magic. Well, what is it? Psi nullification and interference. As a living battery of negative psychic energy, like negative chi. The Psi Nullifier has the ability to disrupt or interfere with magic and psionics that are directed against him or in close proximity to him. This is a natural defense mechanism developed by the mutant to protect against hostile psychic and magic attacks. It is involuntary and occurs automatically whenever psychic or magic forces are directed against him or within 10 feet of him. So what does it actually do? Every 1 point of ISP expended by the nullifier negates 3 points of ISP or 1 positive PPE point from the magic power. So it's kind of like the Nega Psychic, except this one also works on magic, just not as well. And it's automatic. You don't have to think about it. It just said it's automatic. As a disruption of magic, the Psi Nullifier instinctively expends 1d6 ISP, which negates the equal amount of PPE or triple in ISP. So you will instinctively use 1d6. So if you use 6, that means to get a spell to work on you, they would have to have already used 6 more PPE to get it to work, which the first attack, let's be fair, they're not gonna. Now, if you're blocking a psionic attack, it's 6 times 3, that's 18. They have to spend 18 more ISP than usual to get it to work. And
usually they have less ISP than mages have PPE, right?
Yes. Straight up mages usually have between 30, 40, 50% more PPE than a psychic has ISP. There are exceptions. There's the Mind Melter and a couple other master psychics that are just boom off the chart.
A Psi Nullifier, Nega Psychic, and Mind Melter walk into a bar. No,
nice. Null Void. Unlike the Nega Psychic, the Psi Nullifier is not closed to the world around him, but he is closed to other psychics and location and sensing magic. Thus, fellow psychics cannot sense his presence, see his aura, sense psionics in him, sense his PPE, or remotely view him. They can pick up unshielded emotions and surface thoughts via empathy and telepathy, but that can be prevented via mind block, which all of them get. So if you're trying to remote view a Psi Nullifier, you can't. If you're trying to sense his aura, you can't. You just can't.
But I want to know who he is.
Well, you better ask him, because that's how it works. What else do we have? We have the Psi Slayer. This is a psychic assassin trained specifically to fight psionics and magic users. I'm not going to get too much into this. It's kind of this one goes in the weeds a lot. Here are all the powers, blah, blah, blah.
Can we have Psychic Chef or something? What the hell?
There's the Psi Tech, which is telemechanics on steroids. Most operators, not most, but many operators are psychic, minor psychics as well. These are operators who are all psychic and master psychics to boot. So if you have a Man-at-Arms type character in your group that has power armor or a glitter boy or a Borg or whatever, you either want an operator on your team or you want the Psi Tech guy on your team.
Okay, so you are right. These things sound impressive. Would you allow players to be any of these?
No, especially not the Psi Warrior, because the Psi Warrior is an R.C.C. that was created in the city of Psyscape and usually is only for citizens to learn to be, really.
And why is it R.C.C. not P.C.C.? Just realize that.
Yeah, it's because it's racial, because the people of Psyscape are different enough than human.
Oh, mutants got it. Okay.
So they're like a sub race of human. Human-ish. Human enough. But not really. Kind of like that. So Psi Warriors are the defensive infantry, basically, of the city and the surrounding area of the Nexus Point on Earth. These are the guys that are in the fog around where you go to the city. These are the guys who defend the gates of Psyscape from intruders from Earth. What do they get? Let's see here. First level. Years of training and inner searching has brought the Psy Warrior to this point. He is now ready to go into the world and find his place in it, blah, blah, blah. Fasting and self-denial, a way to build discipline and access one's inner spirit and strengths. In preparatory training, young candidates are required to experience self-denial by going without water, food, sleep, and other comforts for long periods of time. Well, what does that do for you? It allows you to ignore the pain and discomfort and function at close to normal, even if you are suffering from dehydration, starvation, sleep deprivation, etc. You are still affected, but at a much lesser rate than most people. What about second level, Art of Defense? What do you get? You get psionic powers, empathy, deaden pain, replenish PPE, which is a psychic ability only found in Psyscape, where you can replenish someone's PPE by spending ISP. So you can like juice up mages. Suppress fierce and Psy Shield. At second level, usually you have to be a master psychic and be third level to get a Psy Shield or a Psy Sword. These guys can get it at second level as for a Psy Shield. Special bonuses, they get bonuses to attack and damage, parry with a Psy Shield at levels 2, 6, 9, 12, and 15, blah, blah, blah. Third level, now this is where you get a Psy Sword, combat initiative, telekinetic punch, telekinetic leap, and telekinesis, the super psionic power. So basically, they are super psionic warriors that every level they get better and better. By the time they're level 3, they're badass. Just badass. Psy Sword, Psy Shield. They can enhance their bodies. They have super telekinesis. They have super punch powers. They go first. They have super initiative. They are warriors to be reckoned with.
You know, I don't often, because I already have my opinions on rifts and so forth, I don't often say that, hey, you shouldn't use a book or great idea, but This is one of those, I think this is the first time I'm listening to it, like, I don't want to say it goes too far. Nothing in rifts technically goes too far, but
yeah, technically no, it can't.
This is one of those that I would say, sure, if you're running a Psyscape campaign, but if you're throwing this in normal Earth, oof.
Yeah, it's going to get weird real quick, because all of these R.C.C.s, while yes, very pointed, you know, the Psy Druid is a niche thing, the Psy Tech is a niche thing, the Psy Ghost is a niche thing. In their niche, they are all but unstoppable. And the Psy Warrior is a combat god. Just absolutely, especially when you get to level 5 and higher, you're doing things that other 5th level and higher characters just can't do. And you're doing it well when it comes to combat. Okay. When it comes to combat. But like I said, niche, but real powerful in their niche. So what do we have for questions?
Start a few. I didn't start everything I could have, but you know, hey. Can you make new Psy powers in Psyscape? Gladiator 2 power of tactile telekinesis from Marvel Comics?
You could. I mean, hey, as a game master, you can add and subtract any psionic powers you want. I mean,
is there a system for it?
There isn't a system in this book to create your own psionic powers, but the system does exist in well, maybe not the system, but examples of that do exist in the conversion books. They have examples of converting powers here and there, and from there you can see how it's done and do it yourself. So yeah, you can make powers that can only be learned in Psyscape. And it makes perfect sense because Psyscape and Earth are technically apart. So stuff, super powerful stuff that's very niche can only be found here. I get it.
Okay. This is about hiding in ley lines for a lifetime.
That, yes, the ability is good for explaining NPCs. Yes, it's good for that, like Max said, for the hook, line, and sinker thing. You are on a ley line and you are fighting this demon that you think came out of nowhere. And it is just throwing off all these evil necromantic spells or whatever, and it wakes up a denizen of Psyscape who is resting in the ley line, and he helps you, and he explains what these things were and where they come from, and that's the start of your adventure. Stuff like that happen. You can make that happen all the time, and it's great.
When the DM deploys nega psychics, those are the times psychers and magic users should cast gun.
Yes, casting gun is a great spell when people have great defense against your magic or psychics. Just pull out your gun and shoot your power at them. That could be considered weird. Let's not shoot your power at them. Let's just shoot them with bullets instead. That'll be much more effective in the long run.
There's an X-Men who's basically a Psy Ghost.
Yes, Kitty Pryde. Yes. She can turn intangible and go through anything. But she also has the power to turn other things that she touches intangible, and the Psy Ghost can't do that. That'd be crazy.
I've been banned by 2 game masters from using a Psy Tech.
Yes. A Psy Tech against the Coalition is a death sentence for the Coalition. I mean, there's so many ways a Psy Tech can screw with all of your gear. It makes fighters who rely on technology almost worthless if the Psy Tech character is thinking ahead, planning ahead. You can really mess up just techno people.
So on the flip side of this, I would say this is a you issue, not a game master issue. If you keep getting banned by game masters, maybe
you should chill a little bit, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
yes. The Psy Tech could completely dismantle this entire company of CS soldiers, make their power armor absolutely worthless, and completely invalidate the last half of the game master's adventure. You know that's going to piss off the game master, and yet you did it anyway. You made a choice. There are consequences.
See, how does a Psyscape negative psychic compare to a converted Beyond the Supernatural one through the Rift conversion book?
You know what? I didn't think to actually compare them like that. I think that the Beyond the Supernatural one converted to Rifts would be stronger.
Really?
I would think.
Okay.
But it would be harder to keep your plausible deniability in Rifts. Like the book said, there's really no denying dragons are real when they're frickin' everywhere. So maybe their lack of belief in magic would be eroded, and so their power would be eroded as well, and they would turn into these nega psychics, right? So their powers would diminish over time.
By the way, I see that we got like 400 comments in here about talking about Coalition Manhunters. We're not talking about that today. But if you want Heathen Dog to cover it, get on your knees and beg. I only play... See, Beat Magnet and I cannot be at the same table together. I only play psychic characters in Rifts. This book was written for me. All psychic characters from every game ever need to be burned in a fire.
Now, to be fair,
to the screams.
To be fair, there are very few game systems that do psychics as well as Palladium.
That is true. Yes,
but
I think Palladium actually handles psychics really well.
Yeah. Having said that, some people just don't like psychic characters, no matter the game system. And he's one of them.
I don't like characters that get powers for basically free. There's got to be a risk reward in there. A magic user has to learn it, has to, I don't want to say be lucky, but basically get the spell, learn the spell, do the ritual, pay the people off, understand the magic behind it, yada, yada. Psychic just, I woke up one morning and I could blow holes through walls. It's weird. No.
Well, technically it's not like that. They actually sacrificed OCC skills and OCC related skills and sometimes secondary skills.
Okay, he was born in high school because he kept blowing holes through walls. So it's like, I could blow a hole through that wall too.
Okay.
No, but it's like what you said earlier. Palladium handles it really well compared to the other games. Yeah. And then Michael Mammoth says, I quite enjoy playing the Psy Druid and the Psy Ghost.
Great. I mean, like I said, I mean, while they are niche R.C.C.s, in their niche, they are extremely useful. Extremely. The Psy Druid, like I said, extremely useful in anywhere in the wilderness. I mean, I would almost say you don't need a wilderness scout if you have a Psy Druid. You don't. And if you're a
side druid, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the side, and if you have a side ghost in your party, there is nothing that cannot be found out or stolen. Nothing. Infiltration specialist. If you need to get something in your hand and you need it now, the side ghost can make it happen.
Side druid in Dinosaur Swamp.
That would be something to see, but still very useful. Because dinosaurs are they considered animals? Some of them?
Dinosaurs are animals, yeah.
Then all dinosaurs love side druids because they have that animal friendship thing on all the time. Animal empathy.
I mean, they're mega damage creature. I would rule them as an animal because they're a natural creature of Earth. Yeah. I mean, unless there's a Rift's ruling that says otherwise, I would say that they'd have
difference. Rifts makes a distinction between supernatural creature and mega damage creature. Okay. It's not always the same. So if dinosaurs are considered mega damage creatures but not supernatural, then they would be treated like regular animals.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll hit this last one. This last comment that we're going to look at here. And then we got one more video to go through. I think he accidentally hit the nail on the head in terms of why most GM thinks these characters are overpowered. Nobody considers range. Psychics are powerful. So is the laser rifle 2,000 yards away. That's a pretty heavy modifier, though.
Yeah. I mean, sure, all these third eye folk from Psyscape get double their range, or whatever, but still, a good sniper rifle will take away all that. No advantage. But the thing is, I mean, are you going to be able to set up on a psychic when you need to? Maybe, maybe not. So sometimes sniping from far away just isn't viable. All right. Thank you very much for stopping by. In the next video, we're going to talk about the dangers that's either because of Psyscape or the dangers that Psyscape is actually defending the world against behind the scenes. So that's going to be exciting. So come back for that. And remember to subscribe, share, and look in the description below to see where you can donate. If you want to donate to us, that's great. If you want to donate to our charity, try and think again. But if you come up with the same thing, then fine. Donate to our charity, the Wounded Warrior Project. I promise you, you will not feel bad about donating to a charity that is made to make sure that our soldiers who come back from battle, who are wounded in any way, be it mental or physical, get to keep going with their lives and make their lives meaningful.